Alright, so I've made a couple heads just to kind of play around with and decide how I want this doll to turn out, and I kind of just liked having a couple to play around with so I can just experiment freely. Whereas if you sculpt just one head, you kind of feel like you gotta be super careful with it. So I did this one in ethnic clay so I'd be able to see the contrast and the features a little bit better. And I want to see how that's going to affect the sculpting skill. I've injured my finger, and so I have a little sore on my thumb that keeps making my dolls get all scratched up. So, sculpting hazard, I guess. Okay, I'll have to get that fixed, and then I wanted to show you what I'm going to be doing with this is cutting it into a shape that's more like this head. This is the design that we'll be going for this ball-jointed doll. So the back of the neck and head is going to look like this. It'll be all open back here. I'll need to add in a couple places for the magnets, and then we'll have it hollowed out for the eyes as well. But that's the kind of shape that we'll be going for, and we'll do this in a few different steps. The first step is going to be to cut out this particular shape in this doll head. I'm going to do it while the doll is still in the wet clay state, and just do it gently with my X-Acto knife. I decided to add a pancake to her forehead just to make it a little bit higher, a little bit more rounded, and so now I want to fill in this area here that kind of just looks like a flat gap. So I'll do another pancake that'll stretch across her head and then smooth that in too. Alright, so I have put just a cut around her head like this, and this is the shape just behind each ear and over this rounded part and then up and around, and so now I'm going to bake her like this with the heat gun. Alright, so I just sanded this face, baked it a bit, baked it for about half an hour in the oven at about 280, and then I also sanded right over this edge that I've been cutting on, the line that I drew in when the clay was unbaked. And I just sanded right on top of it just to kind of make these edges be more uniform and even with each other. So that's how her face is looking. She looks kind of sanded right now. I need to go through and put some oil on her face and such, but I was anxious to open this up and make sure she's going to actually work before I put a lot of effort into it. So I'm going to take my knife and just cut through gently to get this to open up. I'll be careful about the amount of pressure I'm putting on that air too. This is not easy. Okay, that gives you the idea. I gotta do this in front of my face. Okay, so I cut through with all this, kept digging at it, and then I ended up using a 3-in-1 tool and just really pushed this down in, and that kind of helped it pop out better. It's all wet inside from using water to cool the head down. Get these out, I just stuck this head pin in and then yanked on it with a hemostat, and it popped the beads out, so now it looks like that inside. I have to do a lot of work with the Dremel and some touch up on her face now. Alright, I'm testing out some eyes, just putting a little bit of the brown clay on the back of one of the eyes that my daughter makes, and then I'm gonna stick it in the eye hole right here. Okay, I'm gonna show you about the other one in too. Look how cool. Just do some tweaking with it. That's pretty fun.